What if the very fear inside you became the suffering you dread? A Greek proverb states, "He who fears he will suffer already suffers because he fears." This paradoxical wisdom, while ancient, perfectly encapsulates the complex relationship between fear and suffering. Now ask yourself, have you ever been so terrified of an outcome that it feels as though you're already living it? Fear, that chill that sends shivers down your spine, that knot twisting your stomach, is much more than an emotion. It has the power to be both a hindrance, freezing us in the face of danger, and a catalyst pushing us beyond our limitations. Imagine you're anxious about an imminent presentation. You're not yet in the spotlight, but you're already soaked in sweat, pulse racing, mind in turmoil. The fear of possible failure, not the event itself, causing your discomfort. This fear has transformed into a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, where does old Greek proverb originate from? This profound statement is rooted deep in ancient Greek philosophy, specifically Stoicism. Born out of the intellectual tumult of Athens around 3 centuries before Christ, Stoicism proposed a philosophy where peace of mind was achieved by accepting the moment as it is, without striving for pleasure or fleeing from pain. The Stoics, like Epictetus and Seneca, urged the importance of mental fortitude. They believed that our emotions are the product of our judgments, and thus we have the power to control them. This is where our proverb finds its home. It underscores the Stoic view that fear, a projection of future suffering, is itself a form of present suffering. In ancient Greece, this proverb was a reminder to live in the present and not be paralyzed by future uncertainties. With such deep philosophical roots, this proverb has endured through the centuries. But how does it apply to our lives today? In our modern world, where fear and anxiety often dominate, this ancient wisdom still holds true. Picture this: you're about to deliver a public speech, and the mere thought sends your heart racing. Your fear of failing paralyzes you, causing you to suffer even before stepping onto the stage. Now consider a career change. The fear of the unknown, of potential failure, can build a wall that prevents us from pursuing our true passion, causing a different kind of suffering. Finally, let's delve into personal growth. The fear of stepping out of our comfort zones, of facing our weaknesses, can hinder our development. It's an invisible chain, tying us down to mediocrity and preventing us from reaching our full potential. These are but a few examples of how fear can cause unnecessary suffering in our lives. Indeed, the fear of suffering can be more debilitating than suffering itself. But can we overcome this fear? The Stoics believed that we have the power to overcome our fears. Their philosophy provides a roadmap to confront and manage our apprehensions. The key to this is developing mental strength. Stoics argue that fear is a product of our thoughts, so we can control it by controlling our thoughts. Next is acceptance. Accept that fear is a natural part of life, not an enemy. It's a signal that we're stepping out of our comfort zone, that we're growing. Then comes rational thinking. Stoics encourage us to question our fears. Is what we're afraid of really that bad? What's the worst that can happen? Often you'll find that your fear is worse than the reality. Lastly, practicality. Practice mindful meditation, confront your fears in small doses, and keep a journal to understand your fear patterns. Remember, he who fears he will suffer already suffers because he fears. So face your fears and free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Let's conclude our journey with a powerful call to action. Remember, fear is not your enemy. It's a sign that you're pushing your boundaries, that you're daring to grow. Every fear you face is an opportunity for personal growth. So don't shy away from your fears, embrace them. Ask yourself, what is this fear teaching me? How is it helping me grow? You'll find that by understanding and confronting your fears, you'll emerge stronger and wiser. So challenge yourself, step out of your comfort zone, face your fears head on, and remember you have the power to control your thoughts and consequently your fears. It's a journey and it's not always easy, but it's well worth it. He who fears he will suffer already suffers because he fears. Don't let the fear of suffering hold you back. Embrace it, learn from it and grow. Because growth happens outside your comfort zone. It's time to take the first step. Are you ready?